friends. I haven't done this in a really long time. Combination of a little too much to do and not enough time. So today I'm going to be making a floral arrangement that is going to be purchased as a raffle item for a charity event. So the budget for this is they're spending $50, so I want to use about half of that for supplies. So the main thing we're going to use today is this cute little flower and garden canister. I believe this came from the dollar store. Sorry, the $1.25 store. And as you can see here, I have filled this in with gaps and cracks. Some people use floral foam, but I like to use gaps and cracks. They can just kind of pop it in there and then it stays very well. What you have to be careful about is it can make the bottom of this buckle outward. So you have to kind of go in a circular motion and leave some empty space inside for the foam to expand so that it does not push out when it starts to dry. So we're going to do that. I do have an assortment of different florals here. A lot of these are taller because we're going to do a bit of a taller arrangement because this is a taller canister. So I have some of these. This came from the at-home store for $4.99 last year. I have not bought any florals for this spring yet from anywhere. This is all last year's supply. I have these purple, I don't know what kind they are. They're purple pretty things. These, I believe, came from Hobby Lobby. These were $4.49 Hobby Lobby. I've used these before. These are very pretty because you see, look at that movement it gives you. Just a little tiny bit of, fun, a little spring in your step. Pun intended, it's a spring arrangement. And then I have these. These were also from the at-home store. These were $1.99, and I think they're really cute because they've got the little fuzzy things on the end. And then I believe these florals came from, this might have been Walmart. Don't laugh, but it might have been Walmart. They've been up in their floral game the last year. And then this came from Michael's last year. This is going to be an Easter bunny pick. We're going to kind of put it in the center. And then we're also going to have a bow kind of in the center, but off to the side, made from a little bit of this ribbon, maybe. It all depends how big it is. But mostly this yellow, because I wanted to play off of the yellow. So I also do have some, as you can see here, this is 10-inch green mesh. I may be using this to make some ruffles to poke in there. I like to make sure that my arrangement is nice and full on all the sides. If it needs to have a little pop of color or a little extra spot to put in there, I might make a ruffle out of that and stick that perhaps somewhere around the back. So I will get started. I'm going to try to make sure that I stay out of the way of the camera because I don't look so good ever, but specifically not today. This is not the day to see my face. So we're going to start here. I've got my hot glue gun on. What I'm going to start with is, this is some floral moss. This stuff is disgusting to work with. It's gross, but it works. So I'm going to pull out just a little bit, and instead of pulling it out and making a big honking mess, I'll just cut this and try to keep the mess in the bag because it's gross. It's not pleasant. I don't like it. But otherwise, I could get done and you'd see all the stuff. And I find it easier to put this stuff in here first and then poke my stuff in as opposed to having to poke it in later because I don't like that. Plus, then the hot glue gets on my nails and I don't want to damage these bad babies, right? Okay, so I'm going to just start putting squeezing some glue in there. I think I can get this all done at once. So I'm just going to kind of squeeze it all in. You know, not too much, just enough where it's going to stay put. Okay, and I'm just going to poke it in there. Poke, poke, don't get it on your nails. Poke, poke, don't get it on your nails. Okay, there you can see. It wasn't a lot, but it was just enough to cover up that, unsightly, gaps and cracks. By the way, if you work with the gaps and cracks, it's wonderful, but be very careful. Don't get it on yourself. Don't be wearing any shirts or pants that you like because this stuff gets everywhere. It can also explode through some seams if you're using a canister that has some, if it's been soldered together or whatnot, it can come through the seams a little bit. So that's why you want to leave some space in there. So first thing I'm going to start with is probably, I want to start with the roses because these are going to be kind of the focal point, right? And then I'm going to kind of put everything else a little bit around it, but this is really going to set the height overall for the arrangement. So first, pro tip, take the tags off your florals. Yeah, there we go. Water resistant. Okay, so I'm going to snip these. I'm going to bring over, this is my baby. This is the Floral stem cutter, which I got from Deco Exchange. There is an affiliate link in my bio. It is the best stem cutter. Look at that blade, super sharp, super sharp. So we're going to cut these off, and I can shorten them later, but for right now I just want to get them off of this big, thick stem spot. So try to just kind of cut one at a time and see if we can get that off of there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do have more florals behind me. You can't see it right now, but should I need to, I can absolutely grab some more florals. There's one part here that, I guess I can leave that there. It doesn't, at first I thought a flower was missing, if you can see that, but I think it's just meant to be like an extra little, meant to look like a bud, I guess, if you will. So I'm going to line these up here. This is the tallest one, so I'm going to kind of start with that one. Yep, that'll work. So I'm going to take my glue. I'm not going to stick it too far down, but I want it down in there enough where it's not wobbly and it's going to stay. That's good. Again, I don't want this arrangement to be like too incredibly tall. So like here's going to be some of the ones I put in there, which might go around the back. I think this is a good height. I don't want it to be super tall. I don't want it to be super short, right? I'm going to move this out of the way for now. Let's play with putting the rest of the roses in. And I do want to remember to keep space in the front for the bow and the little bunny ears. Okay, we'll go that way. Just trying to figure out which way to put those in there. Alrighty. I'll keep on doing it. And the camera's behind me, so if you're leaving comments, I will definitely go back and respond and read to them once I'm done making this. I just don't have anything in front of me, so I can't really see if anybody's commenting or asking questions. But please ask questions because I am here to share, help, entertain. I'm sure my kid's going to yell from the kitchen in a minute, so you'll hear her too. You know, let's be real. We've all got kids. We've all got noisy households. I did ask her to be quiet, but you know, kids, you can ask them to be quiet, but that's like asking for the moon. You know, sometimes that just ain't going to happen. Okay. I think the next one is going to kind of go in about here. I might end up putting some more florals in. Some more flowers. I do have some yellow ones. We'll take a look. Okay. So far, I'm liking it. Make sure that one kind of stays toward the middle. There we go. Okay. Now I think the next thing I'm going to put in, because it's a bit more chunky monkey, I think I'm going to put in some of these. So I'm going to bring my stem cutter out again. Pardon me. All right. And once I get them off of here, I could make them go a little bit shorter with, again, my Deco Exchange snips. I love these. I love it because it's got a lock. Boom, unlocked. Maybe I can use these. Let's see. Let's see if these will work. I'll make this a shorter one. Ah, that does work. Okay. I'm going to cut these off with this then. Because I think it's got a plastic coating, so around these it's a bit easier to cut. I will find sometimes like the stems I buy from like Hobby Lobby, if there's like a lot of it, or it's got like that really thick wire, then I got to use the stem cutter. because I'm also very weak. I don't work out. All right, let's pull this back in here. Make sure everything is still running on the back here. I think so. A video with my tomato cage tree sometime. I can. There is a video available on my Etsy site. You can download a PDF and a video on how to make them. They are available for purchase. It is kind of my signature way of making them, so I'm not really going to kind of do that too much publicly, but they are out there. The video is helpful. The PDF, so I've got a background in technical writing and business analysis, so I'm very step-by-step and used to creating instructional documents, so that hopefully will be something that people find helpful. I've sold a lot of those in the last year, and so far everybody seems to enjoy it and said that it was helpful, so hopefully you can find it helpful too. They're so fun to make. They're so fun. I love making them because then I love picking the supplies, right? And then you get to see how it all comes out, and it's just, they're so fun. And I've made tomato cage trees for, I've got them for Easter. Actually, someone's picking one up in a couple of days. I got an Easter tree that I made last year with the top hat and a Harlequin pattern. And it's really, really cute. Kind of feels like if Alice in Wonderland had Easter. All right, put one here. Come on, don't be stubborn. There we go. I want some to pop out, but I don't want it to dwarf the roses, right? I want to be able to still see our pretty, pretty pink roses. I gotta trim off. A bunch of these have like the little tiny things, the little nubs. I am going to save these though, because I can use these, if I make a pancake wreath and I got to cover up a little piece of pipe cleaner, I can put that on there. So I do save stuff. Sometimes that backfires because then I end up having a whole bunch of crap just hanging around. So, you know, I guess I have to learn when to save, when not to save, when to purge. All right, I'm going around the back now. I'm going to put one kind of back here. A little further down. You see, it's kind of, so that's kind of what it's coming outward. I don't want it to be straight up. I want it to come out a little bit, not too much. Ew, oh, I've got a glue snot string on me. Ew, ugh, ugh. Oh, if you use hot glue, you know this is nasty. Get off me, get off me. Okay, there we go. All right, a couple more of these to go, and then we'll move on to putting one of the other ones in there. My favorite part of doing this is putting on the bow. I like to make the teeny tiny little bows. Not teeny tiny, but I like to make, for arrangements, I like to make bows that are rounder and fuller. Come on. Come on, go, 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 go. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be my front. I want to make sure I'm keeping, that's going to be kind of where I put in my bunny ears, and then my bow will go over here. So I like that this is kind of going to be coming in between them. Maybe I should put that in now. You know what? I think I might put this in now. Yep. I don't want to have to shove it in later and then make some of the florals have to get out of its way. I want to be able to put the stuff around it. Oh. Of course, now I notice it needs to have the bow tied. There we go. There we go. All right. It's going in, guys. It's going in. It's glued. And you can still bend it too, which I like. Let me get that little part of the, there we go. And I like how the leaves are kind of coming out. So it's in there. I didn't want it to be like waving up out of the top. I want it to kind of be nestled in there like a little surprise. And then the bow will go here. So let's see. I think maybe one more on this side for now, and then we'll take a look and see if I need. I don't want to end up making this too densely packed. Just because you have all these stems doesn't mean you have to use them all. But it's kind of like a pack of Oreos. Just because you bought the whole thing of Oreos, Linda, doesn't mean that you have to use them all. Oh, but it does. Oh, it totally does. Yeah. I know everybody's on their big kick for this year for losing weight. I'm supposed to be, but I'm not. Don't tell anybody. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I'll work on it. All right. I'm going to bend this out a little bit too. Good. There. I'm liking this. It's got a bit more life, a bit more movement to it. Okay, good. I think I do want to put another yellow one right in here because that's going to kind of come out toward the back a little bit more. So I will use this one, and I think I am going to cut down the bottom stem just a little bit. I don't want to have to fight with it so much to shove it in there. Sometimes with some of the stems, after you start pushing them in there for a while, it kind of starts to like bend, and then you can't really shove it in anymore. So, I'm sorry, not shove. Carefully place it. Artistically planned. Carefully placed. Shove it in. Shove, shove, shove. All right. There we go. All right. I'm liking this. So this is what we have so far. Now, I do have some more yellows, but I want to put some pinks in first, and then these will kind of go in after that, because these are a bit taller. So let's see. Oh, that's the one problem with these. Like, they're catching on everything, so I have to be really careful. Trying to untangle, like, the ends, like the floral tips, is like trying to untangle necklaces. It's its own special kind of hell. Okay, so these are the pinks. Pull these down a little bit. Let's see if I can. All right. Now I don't know if I'll be able to get these off with this or not. We'll see. We'll see. All right, snips, don't fail me now. Snip. 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 Yay. And I save these because I never know when I'm going to have to attach this to something and use it to stick it in there. So I've got a whole bag of sticks. But I have to be careful because when I was cleaning, I ended up leaning over and leaned over the bag of sticks and like nearly impaled myself in the stomach. Like, it sounds funny, but it actually like almost really ended up in a disaster. So, okay, here we go. Let me see, we're going to put these. They look like little bunny tails, right? They look so cute. They look adorable. Definitely want to put the tallest one probably right there next to the tallest rose. So this will kind of define the overall maximum height for this arrangement. Come on. Come on. Okay, now I'm going to shove you in. Cooperate. Yay. It's so satisfying, that first feeling when it just pierces the foam and starts going in. It's like, yeah, you got it. Okay, go a little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. There we go. Oh, loving it. Loving it. All right. Now this will probably go toward a side. Maybe this one will go toward the back. I do have another thing of 3 of these, so I'll end up using that probably. Put this one toward the back. I like to make sure that my back doesn't get ignored. Just because you never know. I mean, I don't want to assume that someone is going to place this like with a wall as a background. Maybe they'll put it in the center of a table, you know? So I want to make sure that it's not necessarily a centerpiece, which is, you know, fully formed and rounded on all sides, but just enough where if it got, you know, a little bit moved around, it would get some good attention. All right, put another one. I can already tell that I'm not going to need this there, and I'm probably going to go a little bit shorter. There we go. All right, let's glue it and see where I'm going to stick it. I think I'm going to stick it right here. There we go. It's looking cute. It's looking cute. But I'm feeling it's on the back. It's a little naked in here. A little naked. So, I think I'm not gonna use the pink version of these. I'm gonna the yellow version. I think I'm gonna stick with using the pink. So I'm gonna snip off just a little bit more. I may not use all three. We'll see. It's hard to plan some of this going live stuff because I never know until I start making it. Like if I'm going to change my mind, are we going to change the concept? Am I going to do something different? Who knows? And I'm almost out of glue. Dig, 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 dig. All right. All right, I'm going to shove my glue stick in. I used the full-sized Gorilla Glue sticks. I used to use the teeny tiny ones, and it was a pain to have to refill so much. But I do like using a smaller glue gun just because it helps me get into the small crevices, or crevasses, a little bit easier. A crevasse. Yeah. It's a pain in my crevasse. Come on, here we go. All right. It's looking good. Now, I think for right now, I'm going to stop with the pink. I have a yellow still. You know what? I feel like I need a yellow right in here. I do. Ah! They're tangled again. It's like Floral Smackdown. WWF. World Wrestling of Florals. Boom. This one probably wouldn't even be able to see anyway, so I'm going to get rid of that. Trim that off a little bit. Yeah, I snip it off, and then the pieces go flying, and then what you don't see is me walking around afterwards on my hands and knees trying to find where these little things went. That's why I don't let my dog in my craft space. Because I love her, but she chews everything. There we go. Okay, now I feel better. I don't feel like there's such a naked spot. And it looks pretty, right? But we don't have any touches of purple yet. So I'm going to put in my touches of purple. And then if I feel like, hey, I need some more florals, then I can definitely add them. But I'll put in my bow first, and then we'll do a floral assessment. Because I wanted this to be a lot more of like, you know, wildflowery. Ooh, what the heck is this? All right, well, I don't know what this is, but we're going to snip that off. That's a wire. I don't really feel like poking myself with that. That's sharp. Dang. All right, I'm pulling this apart. This is kind of you know what? I would really like to get this separated. Because I want to use this sparingly in here. I love this. I don't have a lot of it. So I want to make the best use of this. And I think this came from At Home Store. Okay, see how this is not very, like I'd have a hard time trying to just poke this in there by itself, right? It's not going to pierce the foam. So what I'm going to need to do is get out this is my pick machine. It's really sharp. Be very careful with it. But I got mine used off of eBay. These are expensive, but I got mine used and it came in like perfect condition. Buy it from another crafter who decided they don't want to craft anymore. That's a good way to do it. So I pushed the handle up, and if you can tell, that put a little pick in here. It brought the pick forward. I'm going to lay this down in here on top of running right along that spine of the pick. And then when I push down on the handle, it's going to take those tines and wrap around it. So I'm going to push really good. Tight, 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 tight. And then I'll pull it forward, and you'll see it now has a very sharp pick thing on it. Careful! Careful, careful, careful. Those things are freaking sharp. Oh, yeah. Now, the rest of these have a white wire, so I'm not really too worried about that. This one has 2 on there, so I'll probably put that toward the middle. This one has wire, and this one has wire. Now this one has a 2, so I'm going to pull this one off again. And I'm going to pick this one. So push the pick forward. Make sure that that is straight. Put it on the spine. Push down. Boom. And then I will use hot glue on here to push it in, to make sure that it stays. Hold on. Diet Coke break. Hold on. Nectar of the Gods. That is not a Diet Coke promo. But if they want to send me a free case, that'd be great. Do you know, I bought soda at Christmas, and then I had to buy someone a 12-pack of beer. And the beer was actually cheaper than the 12-pack of soda. I kid you not. Like, what is going on with the world? I don't understand. All right, I'm going to attach the glue on both sides of that silver pick, because that is one sharp mafricker. And because these are, there we go. I'm going to put it kind of down close to the end, because there's not a lot of height on these. So I'm going to kind of use these toward the front here. So the other one I'll probably put right in here. So let's go glue. And it's okay too to make sure you glue a little bit of your floral onto the pick, because if it's a really thin wire, sometimes it may not stay all the way. Shove, 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 shove. Wait, I got glue on my nails. Yeah, that's what I do at night. I end up sitting there picking all the hot glue off my fingernails. It's the exciting life I lead. I used to watch a whole bunch of shows at night with my husband. And then he passed. And it's a little too hard to watch some of those shows. I am starting to watch Big Bang Theory again, though. That was hard for me to watch without him. But, you know, all things in time, right? All right. You know what? I think I'm going to actually pick all of these, because this is that stem is kind of wishy-washy. It's not very hard. Giggity. Family Guy. I think, yeah, I'll probably, okay. Pick. Oh, it's stuck on the glue. Oh. All right. Try to figure out where I want to put this. Like, see, that's kind of like a little eh. Once it gets in the arrangement, the other things will help hold it up. I don't really like it when things aren't too firm, but when they're too stiff, then it doesn't look real. I know you're going to say, well, it's not real. It's a fake floral arrangement. Yeah, but like, it's obviously not real then. So I don't like that too much. I want it to look somewhat decent and somewhat lifelike. Oh, that's looking pretty. That's looking really pretty. I'm liking it. Okay, and I think the next one needs to come probably right about here. I don't know if you can see where my finger is. See where my finger is? Let me move this over more. Sorry. Let me move this a little more this way. There we go. Probably a little better. Sorry about that. Again, no eyes, not in back of head. Cannot see very well. All right. And this, I'm going to use the pick again. It took me forever to figure out how to reload this pick machine too. It came with instructions. I'm a technical writer. You think I would read the instructions? Did I? No. You know, because I'm stubborn that way. All right. Let me get some glue. Now we're almost at the part where I get to make the bow. My favorite part. Okay, hold on. Where was I going to put that? Okay. Perfect. That's looking good. And I can kind of bend these to separate them out a little bit so they don't look like they're right on top of each other. That's looking nice. I want to put some coming out the back a little bit. So let's do that. Squish, squish, squish. Oh, all right. You can see it wraps around there pretty well. And again, super sharp. Careful. I jammed it under my fingernail once. And my daughter learned a whole new set of words that night. Oh, not that she didn't already know them from me before. But, yeah. All right, I'm going to put that in here. Come on, go, go, go. I don't like where you went. I'm going to shove you somewhere else. What happened? All right. I don't like where it went. So before the glue dries, I pull it out, push it in again. I like to hold it down by the metal part when I push it in. I didn't do that last time and it bent. So lesson learned. There we go. Now, you know what? Put the taller one on top and the shorter one coming out toward the bottom. There we go. Okay. Wish I could break it up a little bit more. Oh, hey, 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 that's not bad. There we go. That's pretty good. All right, and I got one more set. I think I'm going to put it right here. Or maybe I'll put it kind of right there and then I can kind of fork it out. All right, got it. Here we go. So I'm going to be honest. It has been really hard for me to get back into crafting after Christmas. I don't know why. I think it's so... I don't want to be Debbie Downer here. I don't want to be like, oh, the widow crafter, blah, blah, blah. But like my husband died 2020, 4 days before Christmas. So December is really a hard month for me. And then January's hard because January is kind of when I dealt with all of the stuff I had to do because of his passing. So January is still, again, not a great month for me. And I think I've been going through a little depression. And usually crafting helps. But sometimes there's just not the motivation to get up and do it. It's been hard. You have to be in a, kind of a nice, better headspace, I think, to do some of this stuff. And sometimes it's not easy. It's like with anything else. Like, you get in a depression, you don't want to go to work. You don't want to see family. You don't want to clean your house. So I'm glad I'm getting back into it. I think it's helpful. Crafting, as I've said before, crafting is my therapy. Hobby Lobby is my therapist, and no, they don't take my health insurance. I've asked. I wish they would. All right. So I'm taking a look at this, and I think I'm pretty happy with the amount of flowers in there. I think we're good. I don't want it to be too much. I might put a couple more. I think I'm going to put some florals in there. So hold on. Bear with me just a second, okay? I'm going to turn around and see what color I could use. I'm thinking... Oh, I just tripped over my chair. You dork. Oh my gosh. Yep, that's me. Tripping over the chair. I don't really know if these are tall enough for what I want to do, so I'm not going to use... I had some tulips, but I think I'm going to pass on the tulips. But let me see what else I've got. Oh, perfect. Okay, I just want a little bit. I found these, and I don't know what kind of flowers they are. I'm sorry. I wish I did. I don't know flowers. I know roses and sunflowers. And then I have my own names, like pretty long purple thingies, which I don't think is the scientific name for those things. But I think I am going to put... I noticed a spot back here where I think I want to put one. So, but I don't need it that long, so I'm going to trim off. Glue. before. It's like trying to find my way through the jungle. Ooh, the crafter in her natural habitat. Watch as she attempts to try to shove the flower stem into a spot where there's already a lot of flowers, and it's hard to get it through. Oh. After persisting, she succeeds. Ah, triumph. All right, get in there. Go down further. Go down further. Go, go, go. Go, go, gadget flower. If you weren't a kid in the 80s, you don't know what I'm talking about unless you watched Inspector Gadget. Do-do-do-do-do, Inspector Gadget. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I don't know who remembers it, but I do. My cousin loved Inspector Gadget. It always kind of freaked me out. All right, and then I think the other white one, I think I want to put right around here because the bow's going to be here. So put that down. I can take a little bit more off just because I don't want to have to fight with it so much. All right, and I'll move the arrangement back over so we can see it a little better. I know I keep pushing it off the screen, I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Still feel like I need a little something coming out of here. And I think I'm gonna do... Hey, I found one more! Yay! Oh, happy day. I think I could put that down toward the bottom, so let me... Oh, okay, I'm putting this through the pick machine. I know you can't see it, but, you know, I showed you before, so use your imaginations. You're all crafty. All right, shoving it in. Not that I'm racing, but I know you're probably bored and want me to get to the bows. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Trust me. Oh, there we go. You know, sometimes you just get a feeling after stuff goes in the right spot. You're like, that's where it was meant to be. Okay. Alrighty. Florals, I think I'm done with you. I'm going to put you to the side. Get rid of some of that. Get rid of some of this. I like to clean up a little bit before I make my ribbons because I just don't want all this little stuff flying everywhere. Lock. These are sharp too. Always be very careful about where you put your tools and lock them back up. All right. So now, this is my Easy Bows Design Pro. I love this. They do have a smaller wooden version, but I like this because I make a lot of bows. This one is 10 inches long on either side, so I can make some big honking bows. Plus, these don't pop out. They stay put. I love it. To be fair, there is an affiliate link in my bio for this, but I really, even if I didn't have an affiliate link, I would totally recommend this. I love this thing. This and Susie's triple stationary mesh roller are my two favorite tools, along with her glue gun holder. Love it. All right, so, you know, I thought about using the 2.5 inch, right? But I think that's going to make the bow a little too big. I think I'm strictly going to stick with using, yeah, I don't want too big of a bow. I just want it to kind of fill in this spot. So, I hope I have enough of this. We'll see. And I don't even think I want tails. I think I just want it to have, ooh, glue snot. Snot patrol. Ew, ew, ew. I think I just want it to just kind of have a rounded bow. I don't want anything to come down because I want to be able to see that. So, okay. So I'm going to dovetail the one end. I dovetail my starting end first because otherwise I forget. So there we go. I'm going to put that down at about 4 inches. So this bow is going to be one with loops, I think about 3.5 inches a piece. Okay. So I push it down through there, right? And I make sure it's about 3.5 inches, right? So I hold one end, pinch, and then I twist it, right? So now you can see that's the ugly bland side on the right-hand side. It's facing up, right? So then I just bring it through again. And pull it through and make sure when I flatten it down, it should be about 3.5 inches, right? Perfect. So then again, pinch and twist. Do the same thing on the other side. So this is how I'm going to make a rounded bow. Each one is going to come out to the exact same length on either side, 3.5 inches. Boom. I'd like to be able to get at least 4 or 5 loops on either side before I run out of this ribbon. This is ribbon I got last year at Hobby Lobby in their Easter section. I like it. I have now moved on to trying to buy 50-yard spools of things I like from like Deco Exchange or Craft Outlet, because it is a lot cheaper in the long run. But when you can find it for, 75-80% off at Hobby Lobby, why wouldn't you? If you have the room to store it. That's the problem. It's great to get the deal, but if you don't have room to store it, it's kind of difficult. All right. So the end came out of my ribbon. Let's see how far we're going to get. Right now I'm at 4 on this side. I'm at 4 on this side. Flip it over. I got 5 on one side, 4 on the other. But you know what? I'll pull that in a little bit. I'll just tuck that in there. If I can get that extra loop out of it, why not? Now I just got to get the masking tape off, which I should have done first. Why did I cut it with the tape on there? Oh, Linda, the things you do make no sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is take a, what did I do with my pipe cleaner? So I have a white pipe cleaner, okay? Chenille stem. It's pipe cleaner, okay? I'm going to pull this up. All right, hold it there, and then right in the middle. It's going to hold it. I'm going to wrap this around there. Okay. And pull it tight. Do a little twisty. All right. The tighter you can make this, the fluffier your loops are going to be. Everybody likes a fluffy loopy bow. All right. I'll kind of start separating this out. And then I'll show you how I attach it. Because you can't just take these pipe cleaners and shove it in there. That's not going to work. I tried. It won't go into the foam. If you had like a lightweight floral foam, it probably could go right in. But it does not go into gaps and cracks. Oh, no. No, no, no. All right. All right. So I wish I would have had a little bit more of this ribbon. But, it is what it is. And it's going to kind of go right there. And it's going to be real cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm twisting the back of this pipe cleaner, right? So I've got about maybe 2 inches on there. I'm just going to trim it. Now I'm going to put a pick on this, okay? But I don't want it to push the bow too far down. I want it to stay up a little bit. So I'm not going to butt it all the way up. I'm going to put the stem where it's like from here down. So I've got like a little bit to play with. All right, so I'm doing that off camera. Sorry. You didn't miss much. And I'll show you. There we go. See, I left some up here, about 1 inch. So it's still got a little bit of wiggle, a little wiggle jiggle. And then I've got that. So I'm going to figure out which direction I want these loops to go. So then I know how I'm going to stick it in there. Okay. Oop. So I want to make sure that everything looks like it's good and decent, ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to push it in that way. Glue, glue. All right, I get the leaf out of the way. Come on, leaves out of the way. I'm going to push it in. And there we go. I love it. It's in there, but it's not like, you know, moves around a little bit. So I'm going to move this. Let's take a closer look at what I've done here. If I can move it, you can see a better view. All right, so I like it because we do still have, you can still peep a little of the handle. You got the ears here on the side. You've got a rose in the front. You've got the white one coming around. You've got the purple. Got the yellows. I think that looks really cute. It's not too dense. Here we go. I'm going to move it around. Here's the back. Did want this down here a little bit more. Here we go. Here we go. So there's the back. Moving around the side. And here we go. Flower and garden. It's really cute. It's really pretty. And if you wanted to at some point, after Easter, you can always take the ears out. You know, you could choose to not glue that in, just kind of stick it in. And you can take the ears out, and then it could last you through spring. So, really cute. I hope my client likes it. I hope that her charity event goes well. And I appreciate you guys watching.
Thanks for watching. You can follow me on TikTok and Facebook, and you can see my available creations at sweetariadecor.com.